Oh. Oh, hey! I bet you can't guess this subtle hint for which game we're reviewing this Halloween. It's Limbo. I'm doing the Limbo. The game we're reviewing is Limbo.
So earlier this month, I was playing a game called Deadlight. You can look forward to an unscripted video on my channel for this one later next month. But it got me to thinking, man, this is almost fun. I almost like it, but it just makes me miss Limbo. And then I promptly forgot it was October and I hadn't figured out which game is Halloweeny enough to cover this month. I've had this problem every year. Tons of games have Halloween themes or update events, but I don't know any exclusive Halloween games. And I haven't been in the mood for trying one or two of the scary games I have. Look, I like my nightmareless sleep, and I'll play scary games when I feel too peaceful, and I want to ruin that for myself. Anyway, today we're reviewing Limbo, an indie 2D puzzle platformer developed by Playdead and released on Steam August 2011. Limbo has a story. Kind of. It's just told without words, grunts, or gestures. You follow the little darkness child through several nameless chapters. You would refer to these chapters with what's in it. Like the first chapter where you run to the right. Or that one chapter with the spiders. The Steam store accounts for the little boy's quest with the sentence, "Uncertain of his sister's fate, a boy enters Limbo." Short, sweet, and to the point. Just like Limbo. The little darkness sprite runs through area after area, overcoming many obstacles to find his sister. What really sticks out about Limbo's story is that it can effectively convey tone and intensity with the smart combination of silence, music, ambience, and sound effects. Let me repeat and rephrase that for emphasis. A game with no voices, no text, and no language elicited a stronger emotional response from me than most games in general, let alone Limbo's peers in the 2D platformer puzzle genre. It's hard to show in a video review a specific moment where the tone was being shared with the player, because it's something that builds with each level, starting in an almost completely silent forest, and then a bit more of a noisy spiderweb, then constant rushing water, then a dead empty city. Each area still very silent and very empty feeling. Builds and continues to build. Sometimes you don't even notice it until you reach the climax of the game. And then? I'm not spoiling it, but let me say the symbolism was not overlooked. Moving on to gameplay. The movement in Limbo is extremely simple. You move with the directional, or arrow, keys, and interact with control. Or directional pad with a controller, but I used a keyboard, of course. Up to jump, down to climb down ladders and ledges, right to go right, left to go left, and control, again, is to grab, and then you generally press a directional button to use a lever or drag an object. Each level brings a new puzzle to solve and effectively builds on the last puzzle that you completed. You start with extremely simple concepts, like the box and button puzzle in Portal. The first puzzle in Limbo is meant to teach you something, and then what you learn is reused again and again as you progress through the game. Each puzzle slightly more difficult than the last, until you get to precise timing, jumping, and landing. Once you solve a puzzle, there shouldn't be any doubt you could rewind and do it again. But that's where Limbo is very forgiving. It autosaves often, and each section is relatively short. No complaints here, and for those of you searching for a greater challenge, might I suggest the achievement for playing through the whole game and dying less than 5 times? Limbo is a very short game, taking roughly between 3 to 4 hours, and taking even less time if you know the puzzles. My replay took me just a couple of hours. Although I've now reached over 10 hours of game time on Steam. This is mostly because I've played through several times and hunted down some extras. One guess as to why I did that. Yes, achievements. These are typically earned by stepping on these white egg things. The easiest one to find is right at the start of the game. Others, you might need to do some searching. Again, with Limbo being super intuitive, you find the first egg at the start of the game, get an achievement, and then you learn if you want achievements, you look for these eggs. It's really just good game design. How to wrap up this review for Limbo? I'm not holding a rare opinion or bringing a new perspective on it. It seems like everyone acknowledges Limbo's masterpiece status. Destructoid, IGN, Giant Bomb, The Escapists, countless YouTubers and reviewers have all praised this game. It's a solid game for gamers and critics alike. I highly encourage you to give it a shot if you haven't. Honestly, there's no excuse anymore. Add it to your wish list and wait for a sale if you must. Limbo is kinda old and it goes on 90% off sales often. And if you have it, consider giving it another playthrough this Halloween. I realize it's not a Halloween game in the traditional sense, but you can scarcely go wrong with it. Thanks for watching. If you like this, please subscribe for more. See you next time. Atratzu signing off.